What up, fellas? You know who it is. So, I made a post on my community tab a couple days ago, and someone left a comment. He asked, "How do you handle female family members? Your mom, grandma, sister, etc., etc." He just wanted to know what my take is, or what my opinion is in that regards of how to handle female family members, or what my opinion is. I think I forgot exactly what he asked, how he worded it, but I think he was wanting to know what my opinion is on female family members. Now, I don't know if he asked me this question to gaslight me, because it is a gaslighting question if you really think about it, or if you really asked me that question to know actually how to handle female family members, because for most of you guys who watch my videos, you guys have female family members. But nonetheless, I thought this was a very good question. Now, before I give you my answer, just to clarify, how would this question be a gaslighting technique? Simple, fellas. Someone might come in and say, "Oh, I can't believe you talk about women like this. Don't you have female family members? Don't you have a mother? Don't you have a sister?" That's how it's a gaslighting technique. So, fellas, one of the first things you guys have to learn and be good at once you start learning about the red pill is to shut the fuck up. You need to learn. You have to learn. You have to. I can't put enough emphasis on this. You have to learn how to shut your fucking mouth. Point blank, period, fellas. The world that we live in today is mostly blue pill. Most people in this world are mainly blue pilled. You can't afford to open your goddamn mouth into something that is about something that is completely the opposite of what they believe in. Your life is going to be miserable. The only time when you can get away with doing that, telling everybody to fuck off, and why? Because once you actually tell them how you feel, they're not gonna like you. And then you can only tell them to fuck off if they don't like you or not when you have millions and millions of dollars in your bank account, and you don't need to rely on anybody to get money from. Why is money so important, fellas? Because money makes the world go around. Who was the rapper? Can't remember the name. Ray Stromard and his brother, whatever. The song that "This Could Be Us." I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it was a famous song. And in that song, there's one of the lines in that song that said, "Money makes the world go round." That's why money is so important. Because without the restraint of our jobs, who we answer to, more and more people would be making red pill content. I'm my own boss in a sense, so that's why I have the flexibility to make these content, because I don't really rely on a whole lot of people to get paid. So that's why nobody can come in here and say, "Oh, Zeke, we're gonna fire you because we don't believe in you, because we don't believe in what you say. We don't believe in your message." And that's why a lot of guys can't open their mouth. Well, if you're keeping your mouth shut into important situations where it really matters, if you open your goddamn mouth, you might get fired or whatever. HR might not like what you have to say. Most likely HR won't agree with red pill content. We all know this. And they might fire you. So if you shut your damn mouth there, why wouldn't you keep your fucking mouth shut at your family, in your family, at your home? It doesn't make sense to me, fellas. Your family members, especially if they're females, are most likely not going to agree with you. Now, I actually talk about red pill stuff with my mother, but that's a different case, fellas. I have a very close relationship with my mother. Most guys don't have this kind of relationship with their mother, the relationship I have with my mother. My mom watches my videos. "What's up, Mom? I know you're there." So she knows I do this. And that's why I am comfortable talking to her about this kind of stuff. As soon as another family member who's a female, or even males, most males, if not all males in my family are blue pill simps. As soon as somebody comes in, I shut my fucking mouth. Why, fellas? It's not the fact that I'm afraid. It's not the fact that I need to rely on my family members. It's just the fact that it's my family. And if I don't need to sabotage my relationship with my family members, then I'm not going to. You know, there are certain bridges that you just don't need to burn. There's no problem if you burn them. Like, you're not gonna die if you burn certain bridges, but there's just no need. It's your family. If you can get away with living happily with your family, hey, more props to you. But that doesn't mean that you need to do what your family tells you. You can still have your own belief system, your own moralities, and they can have their own. You don't have to agree with them. They don't need to agree with you. Matter of fact, they don't even need to know your belief system. You never even need to tell them what you believe in. If they bring up, hey, where's your girlfriends, or why aren't you married? When are you gonna settle down? You can just simply give them an answer. Hey, I'm not ready yet. What do you mean you're not ready? Oh, I'm just working towards bettering myself. I'm not ready yet. That's it. Just leave it at that, and then change the topic. Now, what do I feel about my own family members? To answer that question, I feel the exact same about them as I do for the rest of the females. I don't look at my family members any differently than I would at any other female. Why? Because at the end of the day, my family members are also females, and they all have female nature, the female nature that we talk about. I talked about this, fellas. My mother was cheating with another guy. Well, she wasn't cheating, sorry. Another guy was cheating with my mother on his wife. My mother wasn't married at that time. She's a single mother. So, and I walked in on them. I talked about this. So my mother is, like, ever since then, my whole idea, my whole world about how I viewed females changed. Because my mother is the most virtuous woman I've ever met. And when I saw that she can do something like this, game's over. I don't have any siblings, by the way. So there's no very close female in that regards to me. I don't have a sister. But I do have cousins. And all my cousins are sluts. All of them. And I have one male cousin. He's a complete blue pill, white knight, beta male simp mangina. Complete. Like, you just look at him and you're like, yeah, this guy is a complete soy boy. So, and my aunties, they're all feminists. My mother, I don't know, I can't really tell how my mother really feels, because we know that female agree with the strong, with the majority. So when I'm talking to my mother, she knows that there's no way in hell she can convince me to think otherwise. So she might agree with me, that's why, when I'm with her, but she might But at the end of the day, she might be a big feminist herself. She just agrees with me. She just doesn't want to ruin our relationship. Maybe that's why she doesn't argue with me or anything. But she knows that if things get heated between my mother and I, because we do get into arguments sometimes, and then I just completely stop. I kind of change the topic pretty quick when I see that the conversation is getting towards a heated argument, because there's no point. Your belief system is yours. Keep it to yourself. So yeah, like my mom knows that I'm not that type of person who was going to pressure my ideology into somebody else if they don't believe in it. And my mother also knows I know how to control my I know when to back out. So when the conversation that I have with my mother is actually very civilized, very polite. Right? We might disagree and whatnot, but we talk to each other with respect. So it is what it is. But that's the only family. That's the only person I share my thoughts with, because as I already mentioned, we have different. My mother is kind of a friend to me, so that's why I'm comfortable talking to her about this. But that doesn't change the fact that she's a woman. And when it comes to female nature, I look at my mother and I think of my mother as any other woman. In that regards, when it comes to female nature, dealing with relationships, red pill stuff, all of that. She's just another woman, in my view. I think of her as just another woman. She's gonna do the exact same things as any other woman would. She has the exact same biological needs that every single woman has. And as I already mentioned, my most females in my first family are feminists, so obviously I stay the hell away from them. And most of my cousins are sluts, so I stay the hell away from them as well. Fellas, I don't even go to family gatherings, family events as much as I used to. Thanksgiving, Christmas, they throw parties all the time. I'm nowhere to be found. Why? Because I'm trying to think how I'm gonna word this. I'm kind of an introvert, and the more successful I become in my life, the more I start to isolate myself away from my family and people who are so attached to the blue pill narrative, because that's how my family is. Anytime the politics come up, they're complete diehard one-sided people. Anytime relationship, any of this comes up, they're completely blue pilled. And it's very toxic for my own mentality to spend time with people like this. Doesn't matter if they're my family. My mental peace means way more to me than hanging out with my family. But hey, as I mentioned, the relationship I have with my family is still good. I didn't burn any bridges. I just don't show up because I just give them the excuses, hey, I'm working, or hey, I'm busy. Because for the most part, fellas, I do end up working. I do end up taking more work on the days that I know that the family will have gatherings. So I'm not lying. And also, as I was making the point earlier, that it's not the fact that you need to have these bridges with your family. It's just the fact that it's good to know that you have people that you can talk to, that you can call and communicate. It's good to know that you have people in this world that care about you, because at the end of the day, they're still your family. And fellas, sometimes you might even need their help. Let's say you get into an accident or your house burns down and you need immediate assistance. That's what family is for. That's why there's no reason to burn these kind of bridges. Just be very smart with that. If you just shut your fucking mouth, fellas, half of the things will be done for you. And when you keep your mouth shut, fellas, my mother even told me this. She told me that I can't read you, Zeke. Like, you become mysterious, not just to women, but to everyone. Men, women, everyone. And every time I open my mouth about something, my family always listens. And they always take my advice on certain things, because they know the things I have to say is valuable. That's what happens when you shut up. The few words that you do end up saying becomes that much more valuable when you don't talk as much. You don't have to sit there like a mummy. You don't have to sit there like a robot. That's not what I'm saying at all. Masculine frame. That's what I'm talking about. Hold that with everyone, not just with girls, with everyone. But yeah, I don't know what the guy really meant when he asked me that question, but this is how I view as family members. They're just like other family female members. They're just like any other woman. Woman's nature applies to all of them. I'm sure most of you guys have some stories about your own family members who are females. Slut stories, whatever stories, right? So, just because they're my family members doesn't mean they get a free pass. No way. Hell no. My mom, my cousins, my mom, my auntie, they start gaining few pounds. They always ask me, hey, Zeke, do I look good? I tell them, no, you don't. You're getting fat. Because they know I'll always give them the honest opinion. I'm not giving anybody any pass. But if you can, in my opinion, keep your distance from your female family members, especially after you become red pill aware. Because you're going to go through a stage, and I've been through it myself. You're going to go through a stage of rage. And you're going to want to share this with everyone who comes in contact with you. And as soon as the conversation takes some sort of a turn that you don't like, you're going to start raging. And you're going to burn a lot of bridges that way. Take my advice, don't do that. Just keep your fucking mouth shut. That's it. So, and as I said, to keep your distance from your family members after you become red pill aware, if they're still living in the blue pill world, there's another reason behind that, fellas. When you keep a distance in any relationship, that relationship lasts. I'm not talking about long distance relationship with your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife. That's a different topic, completely different topic. Talk about family members here. If you keep a long distance relationship, that they're gonna always respect you. They're gonna always miss you. They're gonna always want to see you. Always want to love you. The day I moved out of my mom's house and started living on my own is the day I just saw, like a snap of finger, within weeks, the amount of respect my mom had more for me. She gained way more respect for me after I moved out. And every time I go see her now, she's that much more excited to see me. Because she doesn't get to see me, she misses me. My family, other members are excited to see me, to hear from me. Because I don't talk much to them. I don't talk much to most people anyways. Just because I come in front of a camera and blabber my fucking mouth all the damn time doesn't mean that's how I am after I get off the camera, right? So fellas, this is how I would handle female family members. Just know that there's very few people in this world who are red pill aware. And you're going to dig your own hole if you don't shut the hell up and keep running your damn mouth. Your gut is going to harm you. People are going to say, what's wrong with him? He's a weirdo. You don't want that. Okay? Alright. Follow me on Instagram at Zeekpeak. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and above all, stay classy.